Welcome back, dear students. Today we will learn how to draft an application under section 125 CRPC for maintenance on behalf of a wife against her husband. Dear students, before you actually dwell upon the drafting of this application, you should know the contents of section 125 CRPC and who can claim maintenance on what grounds you must know. So the old CRPC of 1898 had old section 488 for maintenance of wives. Now under new CRPC, we have section 125, where order for maintenance can be made for wives as well as husbands. The latest interpretation of section 125 is that wife, if unable to maintain herself, can claim maintenance from her husband, and husband, if unable to maintain himself, can claim maintenance from the wife if she is earning. Then second category, minor children, whether legitimate or illegitimate, can claim maintenance from their parents. And third category of persons, parents, if they are unable to earn, they can claim maintenance from their children. With this little background knowledge in the mind, now we will start drafting an application under section 125 of CRPC 1973. This section says that if any person having sufficient means neglects or refuses to maintain A, his wife who is unable to maintain herself, or his legitimate or illegitimate minor child, whether married or not, unable to maintain itself, or third, his legitimate or illegitimate major child, not being a married daughter. Once the daughter is major and she is married, then she will claim maintenance from her own husband. So major child who is by reason of abnormality or injury, physical or mental, is unable to maintain himself or herself. And fourthly, father or mother, unable to maintain himself or herself. Then a first-class magistrate, on proof of such neglect or refusal, orders such person to pay monthly allowance for the maintenance of his wife, child, father or mother, as the case may be, at such monthly rate as the magistrate thinks fit. Father has to pay monthly allowance to his minor married daughter if her husband is not possessed of sufficient means. Dear students, the decision on application for maintenance takes a lot of time. The case lingers on for years together, and a wife is unable to maintain herself. Then the concept of interim maintenance was given by the Supreme Court, that interim maintenance may be ordered to be paid during pendency of main application under section 125 CRPC. First of all, the Supreme Court gave a breakthrough judgment in Savitri versus Govind Singh Rawat. Date of judgment is 9th October 1985. And then later on, the ratio of this case was added by CRPC Amendment Act number 50 of 2001 with effect from 24 September 2001. Now, application for interim maintenance is to be decided within 60 days of service of notice on opposite party. And expenses of proceedings can also be ordered to be paid under section 125 CRPC. A divorced wife is also entitled to maintenance under section 125 if she has not remarried, and such monthly allowance or interim maintenance or expenses of proceedings shall be payable from the date of the order, or if so ordered, from the date of application at the discretion of the court. And how do you enforce this order of maintenance? It is to be done by the same court, that is Judicial Magistrate Class 1. If the opposite party fails to comply with the order without any sufficient cause, Magistrate may, for every breach of order, issue a warrant for levying the amount due in the manner provided for levying fines against the husband. And he may sentence the opposite party for the whole or any part of each month's allowance or interim maintenance allowance or expenses of proceedings remaining unpaid after execution of the warrant to imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 month or until payment is sooner made. So opposite party, if he is husband, he can be sent to jail for 1 month for each month's non-payment of maintenance. And for recovery, there is a limitation period also, which is mentioned in section 125 itself, that warrant for recovery of any amount under this section shall not be issued unless the application is made within 1 year from the date on which amount becomes due. So within a year, you should apply for enforcement of the order. Then there are certain exceptions also. If husband offers to maintain his wife on the condition of living with him and she refuses to live with him, the magistrate will consider the ground of refusal stated by her and may issue warrant, notwithstanding such offer. If he is satisfied that it is just to do so, the magistrate can ask her to go with her husband if her refusal is not justified. In that case, no maintenance shall be awarded. Second, wife is living in adultery, again no maintenance. Third, if wife refuses to live with her husband without any sufficient reason, she is not entitled to any maintenance. And D, if parties are living separately by mutual consent, again wife is not entitled to maintenance. And on proof of any of the conditions from A to D, the order of maintenance may be cancelled. Now, what is the limit of maintenance? How much amount per month can be fixed? You see, initially the limit fixed in section 125 was rupees 500 per month, but this was omitted by CRPC Amendment Act number 50 of 2001 with effect from 24 September 2001. Now there is no limit of amount of maintenance under section 125 CRPC. Any amount, looking after the condition of both the parties, any amount of maintenance per month can be fixed by the court. Now, where the jurisdiction lies? Because you are supposed to draft an application under section 125, in which court you will send that application. What will be the name of the court which you will draft? So you must know the jurisdiction of the court also. So this application under section 125 of CRPC can be filed in a court where opposite party resides. Suppose wife is filing an application. So she can file an application where the husband opposite party is residing in that court. Or alternatively, where the applicant or wife resides. If wife is residing with her parents in her Maika or hometown, she can file this application in that court also. And third, where the opposite party last resided with his wife or with mother of illegitimate child. So wherever the husband and wife last resided together, that court also has jurisdiction to decide the case of maintenance. Then sometimes ex parte decision is also taken by the court. If the opposite party is willfully avoiding service of summons sent by the court or willfully neglects to attend the court, then magistrate may decide the case ex parte, that means without hearing the opposite party. Notice was sent to opposite party, but he never appeared before the court. After ex parte decision, the opposite party has a right to apply for setting aside ex parte order also. Within 3 months of the date of order, the ex parte order may be set aside if sufficient cause is shown by the opposite party. And then there is provision for alteration and cancellation of maintenance allowance also. First of all, the maintenance order can be altered, can be cancelled on change in circumstances of the parties. Suppose husband was earning and wife was not earning. So wife was granted maintenance. Now suppose husband loses her job and wife gets a good job. Then there is change in circumstances. She is able to maintain herself, whereas husband is unable to maintain his wife because he lost his job. So there may be alteration or cancellation of the order. Second, as a consequence of order of maintenance passed by any competent civil court. Suppose wife is getting maintenance under Hindu Marriage Act, section 25 also. So maintenance under section 125 may be altered. It may be altered on remarriage of the lady, because now she has new husband. She can claim maintenance from new husband, not from the old one. So the order, if any, passed in her favor may be cancelled or altered. Then on receiving lump sum amount of maintenance on divorce forever, if parties had decided to divorce by mutual consent and she has received a lump sum amount of maintenance, then she is not entitled to maintenance in future. And then on divorce, if woman has voluntarily surrendered her right to maintenance or interim maintenance, if she has surrendered, of course, she is not entitled to maintenance. So you will have to keep all these factors in mind while drafting an application for maintenance under section 125 of CRPC. Now, dear students, with this background knowledge in the mind, now we will start the actual drafting of application under section 125. So heading will be application for maintenance on behalf of wife and her minor son under section 125 CRPC 1973. So two persons are claiming maintenance in this application, wife and minor son. Wife is claiming maintenance from her husband and son is claiming maintenance from his father. First of all, you will have to draft and choose the name of the court. So only Judicial Magistrate Class 1 and Metropolitan Magistrate in metropolitan areas have power to grant maintenance, and wherever the family courts have been created, then the jurisdiction gets shifted to the family court instead of Metropolitan Magistrate or Judicial Magistrate. So presently, our name of the court for present illustration is in the Court of Metropolitan Magistrate, New Delhi. Maintenance petition number -- of 2017. In the matter of who are the parties? Party number 1 is Srimati X, wife of Z, resident of flat number 125, Designers Park, Sector 62, Noida, District Gautam Buddha Nagar. Here I have intentionally kept flat number as 125 so that you may remember section 125 under which this application is being drafted. Second applicant is Master A, son of Z. See, wife was wife of Z and son is son of Z. So opposite party is Z, husband of Srimati X and father of Master A. So A, son of Z, aged about 5 years. A minor cannot contest the suit in a court. So this application is to be filed through his mother and natural guardian, Srimati X, wife of Z, resident of flat number 125, Designers Park, Sector 62, Noida, District Gautam Buddha Nagar. These two persons are the petitioners. Against whom this application is filed? Shri Z, son of Y, resident of 52 Malvi Nagar, New Delhi. He is the respondent. And center heading will be application under section 125 CRPC 1973. Opening address will be like this. The petitioners above named most respectfully submit as under. Para 1. Now the facts are to be mentioned in small paragraphs to be numbered consecutively. Para number 1. That the petitioner number 1 is the legally wedded wife of respondent and petitioner number 2 is the legitimate son of the respondent. Fine. Para 2. That the petitioner number 1 was married to respondent in accordance with Hindu rites and ceremonies on 10 December 2010 at New Delhi, and petition number 2 was born out of their wedlock on 1st Feb 2012 at New Delhi. The petition number 2 is presently staying with petition number 1. Obviously, the minor child is staying with his mother. Para 3, that petitioner number 1 and respondent stayed together after their marriage at Delhi. So since they last resided together at Delhi, so Delhi court has jurisdiction. Para 4, that during the period June-July 2013, the matrimonial life of petitioner number 1 and respondent got disturbed due to illegitimate affairs of the respondent with a girl named Mrs. Silva. The petitioner number 1 made best possible efforts to persuade the respondent to desist from indulging in affairs outside the wedlock, but in vain. Rather, the behavior of respondent became rude, cruel, and oppressive. And finally, on 10th July 2014, respondent gave her severe beating and thrown her out of her matrimonial home along with her minor son. The respondent threatened her that he will kill her if she comes back. Since then, she is living with her father along with her minor son at Noida. Noida is her parental hometown. Then para 5, petitioner number 1 and her father made repeated efforts to join respondent in their matrimonial home, but the respondent has finally refused to take her back. He has no love and affection with his son. During the course of meeting with relatives, the respondent disclosed that he was planning to marry Mrs. Silva, although it is not permissible under law. As such, the respondent has deserted the petitioners without any reasonable cause. Para 6, that the respondent has severed his relationship with the petitioners and he is not picking up the phone calls of petitioner number 1. Para 7, that the respondent, husband, is liable to maintain the petitioners. The petitioner number 1 requested the respondent to provide them appropriate maintenance. The respondent not only refused to maintain the petitioners, but has also refused to return her clothes, jewelry, along with her Stridhan, which is lying at respondent's residence. Para 8, that the respondent is a man of status and is working as a naval officer in Indian Navy and is getting monthly emoluments about rupees 1 lakh per month, and as such has sufficient means to maintain himself as well as petitioners. He has no other liability except that of maintenance of the petitioner. So, husband is able to maintain the wife and son. Para 9, that petitioner number 1 is a homemaker and as such has no independent income or source of livelihood and is as such unable to maintain herself and her minor son. She is staying with her father at Noida and both the petitioners are dependent on him. Here, you have shown that petitioners are unable to maintain themselves, whereas the husband, opposite party, has a good income. There are 10. That petitioner number 2 is a minor and is studying in Delhi Public World School, Noida, and his monthly expenditure, including school fee, dresses, etc., is rupees 15,000 per month. Apart from this, the petitioner number 1 has also kept a part-time maid servant to look after petitioner number 2 properly and is paying her a sum of rupees 5,000 per month. These expenses are being borne by her father. So the boy has approximately 20,000 per month expenses. Para 11, that the monthly expenses of petition number 1 are approximately 20,000. 20,000 for the wife and 20,000 for the son. Para 12, that the respondent is residing at Delhi. This honorable court therefore has jurisdiction to entertain and decide this petition. Dear students, we studied earlier in this lecture that application for maintenance can be filed wherever the opposite party is residing. So since husband is residing at Delhi, so we have chosen the name of the court as Metropolitan Magistrate, New Delhi. Now the prayer. It is therefore most respectfully prayed that this honorable court may kindly be pleased to pass the order of maintenance of the petitioners as against the respondent, directing the respondent to pay monthly allowance of rupees 20,000 towards maintenance of petitioner number 1, that is wife, and rupees 20,000 towards maintenance of petitioner number 2, total rupees 40,000 per month, and cost of these proceedings be also awarded to the petitioners. So signature of petitioner number 1 are required on this application, and place of drafting you will have to mention Delhi. Date of filing is 1st January 2017. And since this application is drafted by some advocate, you will mention drafted by ABC advocate, and his signatures are also required on this application. Or you can write down through ABC advocate. And the signatures of ABC advocate are also required. So this application is being signed by petition number 1 for herself and for petition number 2 also, who is a minor. So you can draft it like this: signature of petition number 1 for herself and minor petitioner number 2. This is a better way of drafting it, that mother is signing this petition for herself and minor on behalf of minor, petition number 2 also. So dear students, this is how we have learned the drafting of this maintenance for application before the Court of Metropolitan Magistrate. Please note that this application is to be supported by an affidavit of petitioner number 1, along with other documentary evidence, if any, and an application for interim maintenance can be filed along with this main application during the pendency of main application for maintenance, which is likely to take few months for its decision. The interim maintenance can be awarded. So you will have to move 2 applications. One application for maintenance under section 125 and second application again under section 125 for interim maintenance till the main application is decided. And we have learned that there is no limit, like limit of rupees 500 per month. Now in CRPC, there is no limit. Unlimited amount of maintenance can be fixed by the court. And on interim maintenance, we have learned the leading case of Savitri versus Govind Singh Rawat, decided by the Supreme Court in 1985, which is a judge-made law and very breakthrough judgment of the Supreme Court in favor of ladies. And the ratio decidendi of this case was adopted by the government, and CRPC was amended by CRPC Amendment Act number 50 of 2001 with effect from 24 September 2001. So now every female, every child, every parent has a right to get interim maintenance also till the disposal of main application. So dear students, this is how we have learned the drafting of an application under section 125 CRPC along with another application for interim maintenance. So dear students, thank you very much. God bless all of you. Thank you.